Ricardo, Ricky. Este fue el que te dijo. Sí. Ajá. Aquí está. Yes. Yacine and Eulalia are going to send it. They already got yes, exactly. I presume. Querido saber el límite de ingreso de la ya estamos en esta información para lo que estamos trabajando es que vamos a hacer el último detalle, el carrito que siga, no, el video no me quita, pues. Mira cómo se ve. Sí, sí. ¿Y por qué estoy jugando los dos? Esa es mi máquina de oficina. Lo estoy poniendo allá. No me acordaba del. Para salir, porque no salga el teléfono. Ahí, ¿cómo se ve? No me he grabado, ya, déjalo así, déjalo así. Ricardo, ¿tú sabes cuál es Y la caja también.
Ok, sí, suena, ya. Sí, sí, dale. Venga.
Por ahí me dijeron.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the real business of the day, can we just ask one or two things? One, please put your cell phones on silent. Second, we don't even need to say this, because it's the British school. All children are seated beautifully, and that is lovely. If you have any little ones, they're very welcome as our potential clients. Now, what other things? I think this has been such a team effort that before we start, it would be really nice to thank everybody, the musicians, everybody, because there are so many people and we really want to finish with the graduates. So I would ask you all to just give everybody who's involved a huge round of applause. Now, and after the event, students, you're going to sit very nicely. Well, all our graduates go along, down and out, not down and out, but down and out, and followed by guests. And then students, you will go last and watch it to the very bitter end. Okay, now, I would like the choir, please, to take their places on the stage. Choir. Please can I ask everybody to stand for the Venezuelan and British national anthems. Thank you very much. Would you please be seated? Thank you very much, choir. That was lovely. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, students. Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome the students, staff, guests, parents. Including the Board of Governors and also Her Majesty's Ambassador to Venezuela and the patron of our school, who is His Excellency Mr. John Saville, to our first ever graduation to be held at the British School. So I would like to please ask you to think how historic this occasion is, because it is something very special, and it is right that the students should watch this, and everybody should watch this. So I would like to welcome the British School class of 2015 down to the stage. Please, let's give them a round of applause. to introduce Eugenia here. She will be sharing with me this role of guiding us through this historic ceremony. Between us, we clocked up over, not 50 metres, 50 years of association with this school. And whereas I started as a tourist who came to Venezuela and never went home, Eugenia had a very different story to tell.
Well, thank you for coming, everyone. I started out in 1999 as a preschooler. I spent the last 14 years of my life at the British school. And after leaving and coming back, although part of me is graduating with them today, I'm proud to say I'll be a graduate of TBSC next year.
Now, today is a culmination of events and decisions that started out way back when in the last century. And I must say, as a one-time parent, I was a board member for quite a long time, and mostly as a teacher, I feel this is such a proud event, such a good event to be proud of.
On the contrary, I've been a student and I've shared many memories that will never be forgotten with the class of 2015.
And together we hope to represent the tried, tested and traditional values that this school is well known for. But we need to have the fresh listening and responding to changes that has to happen in any good institution, where old routines are left to become redundant and we welcome the new. So that is why we're here.
Together, we symbolize the mission of drawing from the past to produce critically alert students of the future.
And throughout this process, we aim to keep the British school family atmosphere. And I think that's pretty obvious here. That's very important, and it is so vital to producing these caring citizens of the world. And that is why we hope we represent that. So
now we would like to invite you to take a closer look at a video of some of those caring students who will become graduates in a couple of minutes.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, what will be, will be. When I grew up and fell in love, I asked my sweetheart, what lies ahead? Will we have rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, what will be, will be. Now I have children of my own. They ask their mother, what will I be? Will I be handsome? Will I be rich? I tell them tenderly, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Que sera, sera.
Dreams that you dream of once in the love of somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dream of. Dream never do come true. Someday wish upon a star, wake up with clouds are far behind. We will travel fields like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you did to oh, I can't I someday wish upon a star, wake up with the clouds are far behind. We will travel down like a lemon drop, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Way up high, the dream that you did to why, oh why can't
Graduates, we need you back on the stage now. Did you enjoy your video? Yes, good. Well, I enjoyed watching everybody's faces watching it. I haven't actually seen it yet. So, that was good. Now, I am going to ask His Excellency, Mr. John Saville, to address our graduates, please.
thank you all very much indeed for inviting me back here today. Can you allow me please to start with a word of thanks and appreciation to your amazing choir. This is actually the second time this week I've heard them sing both national anthems so beautifully, because they came and performed them at the birthday party I gave for Queen Elizabeth on Tuesday. And I think you'll agree with me that they are amazing. So will you join me in giving them a hand? I'm particularly delighted to be here today and honoured as well, for personal reasons, because in my last posting as head of mission, I was High Commissioner in Brunei Darussalam. My daughter actually chose to go to a school that's been doing IB for a number of years, and I was extremely impressed with what the International Black Baccalaureate offers to young people in preparing them for going out into the world, and also offers to schools and colleges in terms of what they're able to give in the way of education. I didn't know until I started to research these remarks today that the IB has apparently grown in uptake by over 50% in the last 5 years. And I think that's for 3 key reasons. The first is the wide range of academic study it offers. It's famous for allowing students to study in a broader range of areas, certainly than traditional A-levels, which is what I studied and what we're much more used to in the UK still. And this allows, it seems to me, students to emerge with a very, very strong springboard of knowledge for future study or work. And the inclusion of additional subjects, like the theory of knowledge, helps to broaden out and add to their subject-specific knowledge with a broader base that I think is very, very important to help them flourish in the future. Continuing with that theme, I think graduates in the IB diploma also have a key advantage in that they've been required to carry out individual research projects in the way of an extended essay. This is absolutely vital in terms of a head start for university or tertiary education, or indeed for going into the wider world of work, where quite often you're expected to do things in more depth and in a more self-sustained and self-driven way than often you are in terms of schoolwork. So I think that's very useful and very helpful in enabling students to manage their time, motivate themselves, and think critically and analytically. And the third reason I think the IB is so fantastic is its international outlook. I think it's in over 5,000 schools worldwide now, which demonstrates quite how highly it's thought of throughout the world. And that international focus is critical, and I think will set students in general and these 7 excellent students that are graduating today up extremely well for their future. So I hope you'll join me in giving them a round of applause for the hard work they've done. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sell. I would like to welcome one of our talented guitarists from 2015 class, Carlos Borges, to take the stage.
Thank you very much, Carlos. That was truly wonderful. Now we turn to the momentous business of the day. Mr. Ambassador, I would like to invite you to award the IB diplomas, aided by our Chairman of the Board, Mrs. Christina Tozar, the Head of Secondary, Mr. Walter, and our Head of School, Mr. Patel.
Okay, we'll start with Carlos. Carlos Borges, please. graduate, Juan Eduardo Celis, please. Next graduate, Juan Eduardo, please. Now next graduate, Juan Marcos Qureshi. Now next graduate, David Leon. Next graduate, Ricardo Rosso. And our last graduate, he's only been with us for 1 year, but he's still one of us, Mauricio Paez. Thank you, guys. Do you want to sit down, please? Okay, good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and TBSC students. A few weeks ago, I was speaking to Mr. Bolton when we were preparing this event, and he said to me, I have a few minutes. So I've spent a few days, a couple of weeks actually, preparing my speech, and it was within the time limit. I've practiced it many times. It's all changed today morning, because about 2 hours ago, I received an email from one of our community, and I've been stressing, etc. But I think it's really important to read this email out first. I'm going to paraphrase some bits, but the meaning remains unchanged. Dear TBSC community, I want to congratulate all those present and many that have moved on. This is a very special and unique moment in the history of the institution. What was first a dream many years ago, discussed many times, scribbled on various memos, resulting in strategic sessions, has now become a reality to savor and celebrate. TBSC is now a school where you can enter as a curious toddler and leave 15 years later with an IB diploma, in line with our own vision, our own mission, and our core values that has made our students love learning, open their senses, and made them critical thinkers. Our students are open-minded people who will contribute from whatever role they end up taking, resulting in making the world a better place. Tough decisions were taken, some sensitive and some delicate, some exciting and some ambitious, and now this long-awaited outcome, our first ever year 13, the class of 2015. May these young adults, once children, who are our children as well, be blessed with possibilities and make us all proud. We have all helped, if just by a small bit, in creating the stimulating atmosphere for their growth. Cariños a todos y mis respetos. I would like to give a round of applause to the member of the community who sent this email. Okay, now it's my turn. It's a pleasure to have you all here on this really special day. Over the last few weeks, I've been looking at various historically significant moments. Some more significant than the others, but I'd just like to run through a few of them. 1913, Arthur Wynne invented the world's first crossword. In 1960, Sirivamo Bandaranaike of Sri Lanka became the world's first female head of state. Neil Armstrong in 1969 was the first human being to walk on the moon. Margaret Thatcher in 1979 became the first female Prime Minister of Britain. In 1981, the first music video was on MTV. Video to the radio star, you might remember this. 1996, we're getting closer to their birth. Dolly the sheep was the first mammal to be caught. 1998, the first MP3 player was invented, called MP Man. Then our graduates were born. And in 2009, Barack Obama was the first black president of USA. These are just a few examples over the last 100 years. Being first carries a certain sense of triumph and kudos. Today we witnessed the first ever year 13 graduation. The first ever year 13 graduation in TBSC's prestigious 65-year history. Let us not underestimate the historical significance of this day for this school. Of course, being first is not the be-all and end-all. For example, Albert Einstein, Bill Gates, Charles Darwin, Isaac Newton, Abraham Lincoln, Winston Churchill, and many more did not succeed at many things the first time around. But being first does feel nice. It is unique and it is memorable. Today I stand here, a very proud head of the British School Caracas, overseeing our first ever graduates. The first head of TBSC to give a year 13 graduation speech. I truly am honored to be in this position. So, year 13, as you leave TBSC, remember that yes, you have achieved a milestone, and in turn you have helped make memories for us. Remember that as you journey on, be mindful of those in your path, as they will always invariably be touched in some way as we have all been today. If I had to give you 5 pieces of advice, they would be: learning is never ending. Remain lifelong learners and work hard. There really is no shortcuts. Capture each moment, opportunity, and take some risks. Do not ever look back and think, what if? Take on board and reflect upon all the criticism you receive, even the ones you disagree with, as hard as it may be to listen to. This will make you stronger and a better person. Ultimately, it will make you wiser. Always be grateful and never lose your smile. gratitude and happiness of food for your soul. Apologize when mistakes are made. It builds character and shows respect. Last but not least, always remember your past. We are not saying goodbye to you today. We are celebrating your success, your future successes, and it's actually a see you soon. You are welcome back anytime, so please visit and visit often. Enjoy this celebration, and thank you for letting us be a part of not only TBSC history, but your history. Ladies and gentlemen, TBSC students, I present to you our class of 2015.
I would now like to invite Juan Celi and Carlos Borges, who will be the two graduates giving their speeches.
Good afternoon to all, and thank you for coming. I've been part of the school for almost 8 years. Concretely, I've been here since I was in year 6. For me, it seems like a lifetime, even though it's nowhere near what Carlos or Peña, for example, have been here for. For those of you who don't know, these two have been members of the student body since they were in preschool. Today I want to talk about family. Not my family particularly, but the family that is the British School of Graduates. Especially if you've been part of the TBSC community for some time, you've probably realized that TBSC is not merely an educational institution. What this school is can be described in one word: family. One of the things that makes it a family is a sense of community, the homely environment we are all a part of. Personally, I get to school every morning, well, I used to come to school every morning, and say good morning to all the security guards, who even know my name and joke around with me. I then proceed to take the usual trajectory to my morning classroom, greeted with several good mornings and lively smiles from teachers and workers on my way. Even the students, being part of such a closely knitted community, it is not unusual for me to high-five a red shirt or to know one of the white shirts by name, for example. I was actually discussing the matter with my sister a few days ago, and this is what she said. From an outsider's point of view, the bond we have with teachers would be seen as unusual. For example, whenever I see Miss Nichols, this is my sister speaking, by the way, I go up to her and hug her. People in other schools wouldn't do that. I thought about it, and yeah, she was actually right. For example, I often see Mr. Bolton and say, "Hey, Bolt." People wouldn't do that. You don't get this family feeling in any other school. What else makes this school a family? Growth. Families grow. You get a new dog, or buy a new car, or buy a bigger home. The school grows too. We get new students and teachers every year. Our community grows, it expands. In terms of infrastructure, the school grows every year. New classrooms and offices, updated libraries, updated facilities. But the important thing is that as the school grows, we grow with it. And when I say we, I'm not referring only to the seven graduates currently at stage. I'm talking about everyone here present. I've personally experienced the growth of the school. I was here before all these massive changes, before this roof was built, for example, or before we had Wi-Fi available all around school, and even before we had smart boards available at every classroom. And all I can say is that I have seen this family grow, and this family has seen me grow. Third, support. The main role of your family is to support you. You usually get advice, encouragement, or help from your family members. This is something the TBSC family has never failed to provide. You'll always have a teacher, or another student, or even a member of the maintenance team at your disposition, whether you need someone to talk to or simply someone to encourage you. People in this school care for each other, and this is what makes this place so pleasant, so much like a family. I guess all that's left to do is give thanks. I want to thank every student that I ever had the chance to come to school with, every teacher, member of staff, or other schoolwork, every parent I had the pleasure to meet during these 8 years. Thanks for making this a not so bad place to come to every morning. Thanks for making me who I am today. And on this, probably the last of many times I've been speaking on this same stage, I want to quote Gustavo Cerati, and to my second family, the TBSC family, I say, gracias totales.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eduardo Borges, and today I'm graduating from high school. You only get to say that once in your life, and it's a big deal. Say goodbye to the place where you learned about colors as well as learn about calculus. For those who don't know, I've studied here at the British School for 15 years now, and that's more years than many students here have been alive. Having said this, the school's become like a home to me. I've seen it change in size, changing teachers, changing a lot of different things. However, it has always been for the best. For this, I'm very thankful for the school, for making this environment perfect for me to learn and make friends who I will never forget. As you can see behind me, there are 6 young adults who are graduating with me. I've known some of them for longer than others, but they have all become brothers to me. It's funny how we are all completely different. I'm not just talking about taste in music, and still we manage to get along just like brothers. This being, of course, with the occasional senseless fights and name callings. But we don't leave anyone out. We make fun of everyone. I want to take a short moment to talk about each one of them. See, I can do this because we're only 7 in the class. But I want to talk about all the things that I actually learned from them. But before I do so, I want to point out how these group of friends in particular is a type of group that will probably not see each other in some time, but when we finally do get together, it'll be just like the last time we did see each other. We'll talk about the same things that make us laugh now, and make fun of each other, the same thing we do now. Now, first off, we have Juan Celio, or Chicha, as we call him. Nobody really knows where he got the nickname, but anyways. I met him when I was in year 6, so I was around 11 years old. I remember perfectly the day he walked into my class, and all shy. But sometime later, he wasn't shy at all, and we became best friends. We played lots of football and video games just like we do now. And what I learned the most from him is that you should never be afraid of showing who you are and saying what's on your mind. If there's something you have to say, you say it. Then we have David. Now, I've known David for just over 2 years now, and of course it's always a bit hard to enter a new school, make friends, but after some time, David became one of us. And he actually taught me a very valuable lesson, which is to say what you believe in, no matter what anyone says. To not be afraid to give your point of view and stick to it. Thank you. Juan Marcos. Now, he might seem a bit too old to be here because of beer, but don't worry, he's not. I've known him for just over 4 years, and he definitely showed me that sometimes all you need is someone to talk to. and he'll always be there. After talking to Marcus, you'll feel better, whether it's about, I don't know, girls or something about stressing you out about school. So thank you, Marcus, for that. Next, we have Mauricio. Now, I've only known him for a year, but time is definitely not a way of measuring how good friends you are with someone. He really made me value how much getting out of your way is worth. And this is something that is sometimes something that some people take for granted. So I want to thank you for that so much. Then there's Ricardo. He came into TBSC like from Marcus just over 4 years ago. And after getting to know him so well, and back then going through some ups and downs, I learned something very valuable. If something is troubling you, not making you completely happy, do something about it. Don't take anything less out of a situation than you want. Last, but definitely not least, we have JP. He came into school at the same time around the others, and it's amazing how he is the same happy, stubborn, but great guy he is today. I not only learned that you can, well, make conversation with anybody, but you can always see a brighter side of things. And also that if there is anything you're passionate about, make sure you're never ashamed of that. These are the very lessons that I learned from all of you that I want to remind you of so that you yourself live by them as much as I will. I want to end by wishing you the best in your personal as much as professional endeavors. And I hope that you make true every dream you have today and will have tomorrow. I say this as proud as can be and with great joy. We are all not afraid of saying what we want. We think however we want to. We do everything we want to. We are whoever we want to. Thank you.
Right, now the graduates are going to take a look at a surprise video. So it's even bigger surprise to us because we can't see it. So let us have a look at the surprise video. Thank you, young men, for your advice. And it serves no matter how old or whatever. Thank you. More advice from Mauricio, separate the microphones. Thank you. Right.
Hi guys, this is Val, obviously, from Rio. Here I am, working to the City. I hear that you're all graduating, I'm so proud of you. It's an amazing 2 years that we spent together. Teaching you science, which we were honestly delighted and a pleasure to have taught. All of you, Ricardo, so hardworking, studious, and Juan, so intelligent, and Carlos giving me trouble, always hilarious. JP, such a sweet boy, staying behind for extra classes, and the other one was trying his best. Hope not forgotten anyone. But I just want to wish you all so much luck in the future, and I hope you're all studying science at university, of course. And yeah, I know you're going to be amazing in life, so lots of luck.
Congratulations, boys, to the class of 2015. I wrote down my speech because I wasn't able to remember everything I wanted to tell you. But I start off with saying, you've worked so hard, and I'm so proud of all your accomplishments. You've been challenged not only academically, but also emotionally. You guys have a unique experience coming from Venezuela. You need to exploit the experiences and knowledge you've gained from living there and educate others from what you have lived through. May you always follow your dreams, never give up on something that you love, and when things get challenging, remember to laugh and smile. You guys are amazing. Stay in touch. I'm always on Facebook, and Ricardo and I are living in Denver. If you ever want to come skiing or go hiking, remember to look us up. Best of luck in all that you do, and I know that you will accomplish amazing things in your life. I'm so excited to see you grow up into young men. Congratulations.
I know what we're doing. I don't know, I think it's switched on. Nobody's there. 2015, goodness gracious me. 5 years ago, when I landed in Caracas to see a bunch of year nines that ruled the roost, I remember the most, the thing I said the most in that first year was, Carlos, my office! Remember that, Carlos? And I'll say that again. Juan Eduardo, he was too cool for school at that point. Anyway, I think we sorted you out. And then at the end of that first year, I had these two great big unshaven hulks who appeared and wanted to come to school. And Mr. Matt met them a bit later, and we said, yes, you can come to our school. Juan Marcos and JP. What can I say?
JP may not be here at this very moment. He's probably ducked out to the bathroom. Anyway, JP, if you are there, man, I do hope you're there. And you haven't ducked out to the bathroom. Yep, it was sociology. It was a wonderful learning experience for me. I'm not too sure if you guys learned too much. Hold on, you got some good grades. Yeah, it was good, it was interesting.
JP got good grades.
Yeah, JP got grades.
What did he get for you?
I taught JP. He got good grades. Got a big B in sociology.
He got a D for me. D for dunce, I think.
That says more about our teaching skills. I don't know. No, JP worked hard between the bathroom breaks. Yeah. And then the following year, two new guys. One Marcos, I've seen this guy around school, and but for me, that guy's a treasure. One Marcos worked his butt off. What was Ricardo? Ricardo was always on the phone. I think he maybe on a stockbroker or something like that.
He was always a bit disinterested, didn't work very hard, he always had to keep pushing it. Lacked motivation, really, didn't he?
It was a struggle getting an A out of him. It was a real struggle. I worked really hard for that A for him.
Yeah, I think I did too for history.
He got an A in history.
I think he got an A in history, yeah. By skin his teeth.
I mean, I think it's not an A star.
Not an A star.
Nah,
mind you, whatever, I got an A star in geography.
That's something, eh? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Ricardo, no A star, that was a disappointment. But anyway, IB now. But actually, all things considered, these guys made a big mistake.
What, when it was going?
No, there was that mistake. They chose not to do geography.
And history.
Yeah, silly subjects like psychology, really limp-wristed stuff.
Anyway, we've got to go, guys. It was honestly, there's not many times I look back in the last 10 years and thought, yeah, they weren't a bad bunch of kids. Yeah, you were good, it was good value. I enjoyed my time. I even liked the queuing up in the supermarkets. One thing that I do miss is my polar beer, and if ever I bump into any of you lot around the world, you owe me some beer. Have a great night tonight. Hope it goes well. Hope IB goes well. Try and stay in touch. All the best.
Similarly, guys, I hope it's a fantastic result on IB. So, ending all the best for whatever universities that you're off to, and if you're ever in the Southern Hemisphere, call it New Zealand, and we can make some space here. Thank you.
Those were some of our past teachers and saying their bit. And guys, you have a very special keepsake because a video has been made of these videos, or copies I should say, including wise words from your current teachers. We could have sat here for about 3 days otherwise. So you will be given up your own video when you pass by onto the campus shortly. So that's going to be your current teachers as well, and a very nice keepsake. So thank you, Miss Fravigar, for having a load to do with those videos. Now I'm going to ask Mrs. Wallace, who is our keynote speaker, to say a few words to your graduates. And all in all, we're accumulating a lot of knowledge here this afternoon. So, Mrs. Wallace.
Thank you, Betty. Today I have to write the speech. Welcome, graduates, parents, distinguished guests, Mr. Ambassador, members of the board, teachers, staff, alumni, and students. Well, here we are, the day many of us dreamed about and worked diligently to make it to a reality has finally arrived. And I would just like to take a moment and thank many of my past and present colleagues. They know who they are, who donated their precious time bouncing ideas and discussing in strategic sessions to make this possible. Thank you. Gratitude and awe. Yes, I know it is an odd word to use, awe, but it is how I wish to describe this feeling, which I know with certainty many of you can relate to. It can describe many steps of this journey that has only been possible due to the strong values and traditions which comprise this 65-year-old institution called the British School Caracas. Some of you may have met the first headmistress, Mrs. Eileen Ment. Well, I am sure she's smiling down on us today. What a long way we have come from September 15, 1950, in the little Hacienda house in the Mercedes, which opened with 4 teachers and 37 students, to this ever-changing, multifunctional combination of buildings we call TBSC, which today house over 300 students and more than 50 teachers and TAs. Through the years, these halls have seen children come and go from all over the world and have held them comfortably while they are nurtured by individuals rich in knowledge and understanding who have made them love learning and helped them become thinkers and doers. This oasis, many have called home, is miles apart from the harsh reality that most of the children in this world and in this country face on a daily basis. For this, we need to be thankful. Those who have been fortunate enough and indeed privileged to study at the British School have an even greater responsibility. We live in a country where education is decaying daily, where values are no longer the most important basis of the society, where poverty, corruption, and insecurity reign the streets. You, the pioneers, the graduates, Juan Eduardo, Carlos, Juan Marco, Ricardo, Jean Paul,
David and Mauricio, now have the responsibility to go out in the world and prepare yourselves even further in order to help build a better planet, a better country for future generations of children, young men like you. You leave the safe haven, which in many ways has prepared you to meet these challenges you will encounter along the way. But it is now up to each one of you to decide what path you want to take. There is no right or wrong road. In the words of Joan Manuel Serrat, caminante no hay camino, se hace camino al andar. You decide if you want to climb mountains, cross rivers, sail seas, or cross deserts. But always keep in mind one thing: gratitude. Be grateful for what you have received, lived, experienced. Give back to those who have given unto you. To those who have held your hand along the way, helped you when you have fallen. Be grateful to your parents, friends, teachers, even to your enemies, for teaching you to endure hardships and challenging you to help you become stronger young men. This is a day to celebrate achievement, to celebrate you boys, to celebrate the British school. This is the first of many, and the first that will remain throughout time, like so many other traditions in this school. A day to be thankful, because it is not happy people who are thankful. It is thankful people who are happy. And that is every parent's wish for their children. And lastly, I would like to thank my grandmother, who one day decided it was time for her granddaughters to study at the British school, and paid a visit to Mrs. Nett to convince her that these little Venezuelan girls, at the time in the 70s, we weren't allowed to go to expatriate schools, were worthy of attending such a school as this. One of those little girls had a dream that one day many other children could have the gift of a British school education. So now, go celebrate and make us proud.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Wallace. A totally different view on the situation and part of our whole 360, should we say. Right, now we're going to ask Mr. Bolton. Is there no end to this advice? Mr. Bolton, would you like to take it?
Students, teachers, parents, members of the board, ex-alumnos, and all those watching in the hot and the cold countries around the world, courtesy of the internet. Goodness, what really is there left to say about these 7 boys, men, sitting over here? We've done the journey, we've done the firsts, but I'm going to talk today about the ends, or more specifically, visualizing the end before you start something. But to get to the end result, we all know that sometimes this causes pain. The phrase, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs, springs to mind. Well, these boys have caused us pain. They've driven us mad at times. Getting work out of them has been a nightmare. I personally witnessed Miss Frovigar pulling clumps of hair out of her head as she tried to get cast reflections out of them. Trying to get them to move on their IB internal assessment? Believe me, the school Wi-Fi last year moved quicker than they did. So how do we know that it's all going to be okay? How did these teachers restrain themselves from launching their many weighty IB books at them in sheer desperation? What stopped us giving up on them? I'll tell you. But you must listen carefully, because this is the truth, and it's really important. We thought the world of them, and it's that simple. Let me give you an example. 3 years ago, JP walked into my classroom, late, from the bathroom. Clearly not holding any of the books that he'd been asked to bring. No pen. And he walked in like this. And it was at that moment my heart melted and I smiled, even though I didn't want to. And 3 years later, I continue to smile because I see the man that he's become. And I see the potential of this incredible personality in shaping his future. So back to the thing, visualizing the end first. Who knows? Perhaps this is what Carlos's parents were thinking in that baby picture of him playing the drums, that one day he'd be playing in one of the most prestigious music universities in the world. It's what drives Juancelli and Ricardo Rocha to hit the highest academic standards. And that one day soon they'd be taking their rightful place among some of the best young academics in the United States. And before you say, David, a Russian course, what? Why? Beware. This man is full of surprises. Who knows what end he's visualized for himself? One of the hardest workers in the school, Wanguareski, has plans. The pencil behind the ear is a dead giveaway. His end is to be one of the world's greatest architects, and I have no doubt that he can achieve this. Mauricio? Well, pause. When you have self-confidence and personality, as he possesses, doors will open. But you do need to do some hard work too, Mauricio. I have in my hand a piece of paper. I'm visualizing the end before you begin. Architects do this all the time. They draw the house before they build it. And teachers do it all the time too. This is an IB paper from this year. One of the first things we do as IB teachers is to show our brand new IB students at the start of the course these things. It's effectively showing them that this is how we want them to turn out as mathematicians, physicists, geographers, etc. in 2 years' time. The end first. And as parents, we do the same. We show our kids role models in the hope that someday this magic will somehow rub off onto our own children. Now, if you'll indulge me, I'm a parent too, and I can honestly say, and those of you who know me well will have heard me say it, that despite everything I've said about these boys, I truly hope my own son, Nick, grows up to possess the sense of humour, the integrity and the sheer humanity that these boys have in abundance. So Nick, I need to show you. Could you come to the stage, please? Give him a clap, he's only 9. Thank you. I do have a daughter too, but clearly there's a man thing going on. Sure. Boys, as a parent, that's the highest accolade I can give to you. You've made me proud, and you've made your parents and your teachers proud. But our jobs have all but now come to an end. You already possess what we wanted you to have when we began all of this. The end first. All of you, and all you have to do now is fly away to all those exotic countries we talked about. Find your highways to hell. Enjoy the crazy thing. Hang stuff on each other. Fall in love. Have kids, not yet. But remember where you've come from, and remember that TBSC will always be your spiritual home. And one day, come back to visit us with your kids. Enroll them to TBSC. We'd be more than happy to start the whole cycle again. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you know that these boys are not technically graduates yet until their tassels are moved from the right to the left. And when this happens, they really will be fully fledged graduates. So boys, can I ask you to stand, please? Wait for it, audience. Can you take your tassels? And flip your tassels, the graduating class of 2015.
Congratulations, boys. I would like to now ask the choir to come down. They're going to sing a very special song, the school song. So can you please come down?
prodigal son, the prodigal son.
Thank you very much, choir. We've had to alter those words to over 60 because it was actually written for over 50 years. So it's standing the test of time. Now we're coming towards the closing of our ceremony. Time has come to thank everybody for making this such a joyful and memorable occasion. Made memorable by you guys. Thank you. And I am now going to ask you to, this is the final applause, so it's going to be a big one. We're going to ask our graduates, the first ever graduates of the British School, to file out to your elations and your applause, and we will ask our musicians to accompany this occasion. So once again, congratulations, and let us all appreciated. Guests would lead our first round to the cantor for a toast.